Welcome on board, welcome on board. Please invite your friends to come on board. Share the broadcasts on your timeline. Let's invite as many people as possible. So we are going to talk about how to make the most out of this pandemic, because I know many of us are home now and we are so worried, so we are probably not doing anything. But if you are single or if you are swallowing especially, you know that at all times we have to be effective. We have to find a way to make the most out of the time. So I'm going to just share a few tips on how to do that in these difficult times. If you are married, you are also welcome on board. This broadcast is for married with a life and single with a life. So I'm going to share things that will benefit singles and also benefit married people at the same time. So welcome on board. It's nice to see you. How is the lockdown going? What are you afraid of at the moment? What is your biggest fear in the midst of all this drama going on in the world? Let me hear you, please. I know some of us are having lectures online. After the lectures, what do you do? Did you do any panic buying? What are your fears so far? Or you are not afraid? If you are not afraid of anything, post it in the comments. I'm not afraid. I'm looking forward to what will come out of this. Yes, share it. Let me hear you, please. Nobody's speaking. You just want to enjoy me, right? Please speak. If you're not speaking, I'm not speaking. We will just sit here, watch each other, and love each other, and then go. Okay. Okay, so somebody has commented. Thank you so much, MFA. I think I did a few panic buying styles when the lockdown was confirmed. Okay. So what were the things you bought? What did you buy? Were there things you needed? Or you got home and you were like, I didn't need this. I've just wasted the money. Okay, so another comment. I remember the market was choked. Oh no, I did my list before going, so everything was needed. Okay, that's good. Right. Thank you, MFA. I'm waiting for one more person. So today we're going to talk about some of the ways we can make the most out of this pandemic, because as we can all see, we are in very interesting times where nobody knows how this is going to turn out. Okay, so we are all hopeful. We are trusting that God will perform a miracle and we'll wake up one day and there's no lockdown. Everybody can go back to their work and do the things that they want to do. So that's what I'm believing God for, and I hope that has been your prayer as well. I almost did panic buying, almost, because I wasn't watching the news. I hardly watch TV. We don't have TV in this house. We purposely did not buy TV when we got married. So if we want to watch TV or watch the news, we just go online and do a few reading here and there, and then we get to know what's going on out there. So I didn't know. I was just going about my business. I didn't know that things were getting very serious in the UK. And somebody told us, oh, the shops are all empty. And I was like, since when? Since when did the shop become empty? And then I thought, okay, let me go on the news and check what's going on there. And all of a sudden, the news, they were showing empty shelves. And I was like, oh, okay. But before that, normally we do our 1 month shopping. We do 1 month shopping at the beginning of the month. So we had already gone to do our shopping for the month, and we're now in the middle of the month, and the shops were getting empty, no food. So I was saying to my husband, I think maybe we should go and get certain things, more stuff, before things get out of hands. And my husband just looked at me and he just ignored me. And I thought I was actually going to overcome this, because I didn't actually know that it's going to be that scary for me. So later on, I went on the news again, and they were just showing everything. I think at the beginning stage, in the first week, they were saying how toilet rolls were all out of stock. And I was like, what? Toilet rolls? Anyway, so eventually, I texted my husband one day when he was at work. I said, can you please get some few stuff on your way home? At least let's get some more stuff, just in case things get so crazy. He didn't mind me. So I was thinking, okay, maybe when he comes home, he will bring some stuff. He got home and there was nothing. I was like, you didn't get anything? He said, peace, people are doing panic buying. You too, you want to do panic buying. I was like, you don't see the seriousness in this whole thing. Anyway, eventually I was able to calm down and we decided not to do the panic buying. We didn't do it. But then we shopped a little bit, one week earlier than we would have for our monthly shopping. And then we did most of the things that we could have bought and some of the things that would last longer. But now I think that things are back to normal now in terms of the shops. There is food, everything is in stock. So no more, I'm not really hearing too many things about panic buying. But this pandemic has affected almost everyone. At least you've not been to church for a while now. Most people are doing online church. So we've all been affected one way or the other. Some people have lost their jobs. Some have lost their businesses. Unfortunately, some have lost their loved ones. So it's a very challenging time for most people, if not all of us. I know many people are working from home now, with a few key workers going out there to perform essential roles, which we thank God for their lives. So at the moment, there is a lot of fear everywhere, and if you are not careful, you'll be thinking, you overthink. And once you start thinking so much and asking so many questions, and if you are not careful, by the time you realize, you will be so much gripped with fear and you can't do anything. Okay, so I'm just going to read some of the comments that are coming in. So this is from Robert. I did a lot of panic buying: rice 5 kilos, gari 2 olonka, few vegetables to put in the fridge for cooking, 1.5 to 2 liters of cooking oil. I bought quite a lot more after 2 weeks. My activity, sleeping most time, watching TV for updates on Covid-19, on cases going up. I got scared and was like, what's actually happening? Some nights I had to pray to God, what's actually going on? Okay, thank you, Robert. Robert is trying to prove to me that he can cook. You see, he's a Swalian, so we've been teaching our males to learn how to cook. So he's done all his shopping. Well done. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. Okay, right. So I was saying that everybody is affected one way or the other. We currently have a lot of theories going on. People are coming up with different things. Some of them could be true. We hear about people saying the 5G radiations or frequencies are what is causing the death. Some people are saying the New World Order agenda is in play in the background. But all that we know is there's something called coronavirus going on, and people are getting infected, and unfortunately people are dying. So whatever you believe is happening, we cannot see any of them. Whether it is the radiations, we can't see it. Whether it is the New World Order that they are trying to do whatever, we don't know. Whether it is proper virus out there, nobody knows. But the most important thing is we all have to take precautions. So there are various things that we've been told to do: wash your hands, apply your sanitizers, what else? All the things, it's all out there. Okay, so I'm not going to go all over them. Just keep doing the same things. Yeah, I was having a conversation with one friend of mine, and she said something that really, I thought if everybody would think that way, I think all this panic will cease. She was saying that regardless of what is going on out there, whether it is this, whether it's that, we can't see it, okay? And if you can't see it, you can't really run, okay? Sometimes, most of the times when you see a tiger chasing you, you can see the tiger coming, so you know which direction to go. But with what is going on, we don't know which direction is coming from, okay? If it is indeed that is some radiations, that, you know, the 5G that has been rolled out across the globe or in most of the countries, if that is what is affecting us, you can't see it. You don't know which place it is. You walk in, it can affect anybody at any time. Okay, so the most important thing is not overthinking, but putting your trust in God, in Jesus. Okay, because trust me, whether it is the new world order, whether it's the coronavirus, you can't see the virus. We all believe that the virus is there, but we can't see it. Okay, but if we put our trust in God in these times, that He will keep us. He is our hiding place. The Bible says that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runs into it and they are safe. So we have to run into that name, the name of Jesus, for our safety, because we can't see where things are coming from, whether it is here, whether it's there. You can be speaking to somebody, you are thinking maybe this person is coughing, so they have coronavirus. They may not even have it, you know. So you don't know. All you have to do is trust God and pray that, you know, in all of this, the best will come out. The best will come out. So I'm just going to look at some of the things that I think for singles could be a challenge at this time. I had my own struggles when the whole thing started, because I went on the internet and I was reading. I got to know about the New World Order. I got to know about the 5G. I got to know about different stuff. I did 2020 and I was like, what is this? I was scared. Honestly, I was scared. My husband was he was positive from day one. Positive. And I was like, don't you know what is going on out there? Don't you hear? And she said, please, just pray. Just pray. So in the evening, we'll pray. We'll use Psalm 91. Our church, our senior pastor gave us the scripture Psalm 91 to pray with. So that's what we've been praying with. And so we'll pray through it. And every time I go on the internet, I see something, I'm like, I can't believe this thing is happening in our time. You know, some people say Antichrist, the beast, the mark of the beast. I don't know, you guys should talk, yeah? Comment, because I want to hear some of the fears that you had. And I was like, oh, we've been reading about this Antichrist, mark of the beast in the Bible. We never thought it's going to happen in our time. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening in my time, you know? And I was like, oh, you know, so many questions coming through my mind, and I was thinking of my singles, and I was like, okay, I'm sure many singles will be thinking, oh God, if the world is coming to an end, does it mean that I never got married? Tell me if you didn't think about it. Okay, I'm sure many people would have been thinking maybe the world is coming to an end and I didn't have children, I didn't get married, and the world is coming to an end. And then there are some people, there are married people too, who be thinking maybe they are planning to have children and they are thinking, is it actually safe to have children at this time? Because one of the people who are at risk more is pregnant people. Okay, so if you are pregnant, they will tell you you have to isolate yourself for how many days. You have to keep yourself safe. So people who are also trying to have babies will be thinking, oh, is it worth having children at this time? You know, do you want to have a child at this time and they come and the mark of the beast, and do you want them to suffer? You know, so there's so many things going on. I'm just being real, because some of these things were popping through my mind, and with a few people that I've spoken to also came up with those concerns. So I know it is real, it's out there, but then we have to keep positive. You know, there is a reason why God still wants you to be alive. I remember one of the people I spoke to said, oh, maybe I should have died before this time. She can't believe, she cannot see herself going through this mark of the beast thing that people are talking about. So she was like, maybe I should have just died before this time, you know. And I was saying to her that there is a reason why God has kept us till this time, okay? God has kept us because there is a purpose that we still need to to pursue in this time. So if you've been listening to me a lot, one of the things that I've always been doing is I try to see the positives in most things. Okay, even in the difficult times, I try to see the positives. So I'm going to look at some of the positive things that we can take away from this season and work on. Yeah, and some of the things that you can do and things that you shouldn't do. Okay, it's just a suggestion. If it works for you, try and then implement them, because for me personally, they are working for me. Okay, so the first thing to do is to get your head in the right place. And I'm talking about your mind. Okay, get your mind in the right place, because everything starts from the mind. Fear starts from the mind. There's so much fear going on out there at the moment. Unfortunately, when you go on the news, you are hearing a lot about death, all the negative stuff. They tell you how many people have died. They are not telling you how many people have recovered. Okay, but the fact is, or the truth is, there are so many people who have recovered. The people who have recovered are more than those who have died. Okay, but that's the thing about media. They only amplify the negative side. So it puts so much fear into people. It is real. People are dying. We all need to take precaution. We all need to pray and ask God for protection. But you have to get your head, your mind at the right place, because everything starts from the mind. And then once you start processing something that is very negative or something that makes you feel afraid, your emotions are going to feel it. Okay, so you start processing the negativity, your emotions are going to now pick it up. So you start feeling afraid, you start feeling depressed, you start feeling lonely, and then all of a sudden you start acting it. Okay, so those people who did panic buying, fear was at the beginning. So they start processing the fact that in 2 weeks time, if I'm not careful, I wouldn't have food to eat. And it's real, because these are logically, that is how most people would think about it, that if I don't go and buy food now, maybe in 2 weeks time, there wouldn't be food and I'll be starving. So they start thinking about that, and then they become afraid. And then when you become afraid, you start acting it. So then you go to the shop and start buying anything that you don't even need. Okay, so we need to get our head at the right place. And how do you get your head at the right place? Stop watching TV. And I know somebody will say, okay, but if I don't watch the TV, how do I get to know what's going on out there? Right. If you look at the TV, you watch the news carefully, you realize that they are not really coming up with anything new. Okay. Most of the time, they are just repeating the same things that they've said already. They are just repeating them. Okay, let me just read. Somebody has said something. Okay. MFA, I was like, then I won't worry about marriage, so I can give my all to service. I see. See, somebody was already forgetting about marriage, right? Okay, so I was saying that the TV, the media, they are just repeating the same thing, the news. It's just the same thing they are repeating. So the more you watch the news, the more you're going to be afraid, okay? Because you will see so many negativity being broadcasted. They will tell you the number of people who have died, and you are looking at, at the beginning, I watched for a while. I think a whole week I was really watching the news, and my husband was always telling me, peace, you are watching this thing too much. And I said, okay, I just want to keep myself updated. And then at that time, UK, we had I think 174 deaths. And then I decided, okay, I'm not going to watch the news for 2 days. The next 2 days I watched, and it was 2,000 plus. And I was like, what? How did it jump from 170 something to 2,000 plus? And then just, I think 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? I tried to check, because the whole of this week, the whole of last week, I tried not to watch the news. So getting to the end of the week, I just thought, let me check to see what's going on. And it was like 8,000 plus. And I was like, what? So you see, that's the kind of fear. Because if you're not careful, every time you are watching, the numbers are jumping, and then you get so scared. Okay, so keep away from the news. There's nothing too new coming up. Okay, don't do it every day. If you're watching it every day, your emotions are going to be stirred up. You're going to be fearful. Yeah, so maybe once in a while, once a week, you can go and see if there's any update, and then you come off it. But even me, I'm trying to even stop the updates, honestly, because it gets very scary. Stop talking about coronavirus. You see, the Nigerians, especially, I don't know how things are in Nigeria. I've seen so many jokes that the Nigerians have put about to do with coronavirus, and I'm like, wow, people are really, really struggling with this thing, and see how our Nigerians are playing with it. They are making so many jokes. You know, there are so many jokes about coronavirus, and I was like, okay, at least, you know, maybe they're just trying to find a way to make people not to take this thing too serious. Yeah, so stop talking about it, because the more you are talking about it, you are working your head. Yeah, and it can stress you up. And then stop thinking about the worst. Okay, because most people, they are so afraid of, like, oh, am I going to die? Is this coronavirus going to kill me? Will I see the end of this coronavirus? Don't think about that. Okay, don't think about that. You will not die. You will not die. So stop thinking about the worst. If you have headache, if you have sore throat, if you are coughing, it doesn't mean that you have the coronavirus. These are some of the symptoms, but don't start panicking and thinking I'm going to die. I've got people, customers who at work, they even recently, there was on the news, I think it was Scotland, there was a 98-year-old woman who was at intensive care, and she came out alive. Okay, so the fact that you've had it doesn't mean that you are going to die. It's not a death sentence. Many people are recovering. It's all about the way you process it, because once you start getting scared, the fear alone can kill you. The fear alone can kill you. So if you've got sore throat, if you've got cough, do the normal stuff that we normally do at home. Your ginger, lemon, and then honey. Mix them, blend them together, and then put the honey in it, and be taking it just like the way you would have treated a normal cough. Okay, so do it the same way and keep praying and declaring positive things. Don't just pack your stuff and say you are going to the hospital because you feel like you've got coronavirus. Don't be negative about it, because it may not be coronavirus. Okay, unless you get to the point whereby you realize that you can't breathe at all, then you know the right thing to do. I was listening to a nurse who posted a video out, and she was saying that many people get panicking immediately they see the smallest, a little sore throat. They are panicking and they carry themselves. They come to the hospital and they die, because once you get there, they are putting all these gadgets on you. They are doing this, they're doing that, or they could even be somebody who is in a more critical condition and they are not paying attention to you, and you are exposed to that environment, so you even catch it at the hospital. So she was saying, if you are not seriously sick, if you are not seriously dying, you don't feel like, if you're not having difficulty breathing, don't come to the hospital. Treat yourself and be positive. Because she was saying that one of her siblings or her family members was having some symptoms, and she was panicking, and, she called her and she said, stop watching the TV. It's the TV that is making you feel that way. And, showed her a few precautions, and she was cleared. The symptoms disappeared. So sometimes it's all in the mind. Yeah, it is not a death sentence. So don't think that because you are coughing, you are going to die. You will not die. Okay, and then at this time, pray more, pray and fast more, because fasting boosts your immune system as well. Okay, so if you are feeling weak and you are afraid that you're going to die, tell God, today I'm not going to eat. The food you're not eating will not kill you. And then find scriptures that are talking about, I shall not die, I will live to declare the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Scriptures about life, speak it upon yourself and fast that day, and trust God that your spirit will be revived. You will come to the right place mentally. Okay, and then read the Bible. There's the time. Many of us, we've wanted to read the Bible for the whole year. We've not been able to do it. Now you are home, you are not doing much. Many people are not working at all now at the moment. Some people are still working from home, so maybe you were a little bit busy. But if you are not doing anything at all, this is the best time. Read the Bible. Get the scriptures into your spirit, because they will energize you, they will strengthen you, and they will cast away the fear. Because once you read the Bible more, you are building your faith, and the opposite of faith is fear. Okay, so if you have the fear and you read the scriptures, you build your faith, the fear will disappear. Yeah, and then listen to gospel music that will inspire you, songs that are speaking positively into your life to give you hope. And then listen to sermons. There are so many people, pastors now, who are doing the church service online. Tune in to any of them. Sometimes I post some of the services from our senior pastor, Pastor Matthew Ashimolo. You can listen to it. You can go on YouTube. If you are single, he's currently he's been doing a series called Dreams. Okay, Dreams. Not dreams about when you go to bed. In terms of your goals in life, your aspirations, the things that you want to do, your purpose. Okay, so you can go and then listen to it. He does this morning glow as well, whereby he speaks scriptures onto your life. Okay, so you can tune in on Facebook, on YouTube, and I've seen a lot of pastors they're coming up with different programs that will help you. Some are doing fasting. You can join in the fasting. Yeah, so get involved and learn something in this time. Okay, I was speaking to one of our members today, and I said, so what are you doing at home? What have you been doing? And she said she gets bored, she's sleeping. And I said, have you finished watching all the swell videos? And she said, oh no. And I said, no, you can't tell me you have nothing doing. You can't tell me you are bored. There's so much to do. Go on the internet. We've done so many videos, swell videos. Just take your time, go through them and listen to them. I've done videos on abortion, whereby some of our singles have actually read their messages. They were talking about some of the abortions they've done, the way it hunted them, the challenges they had. Some of them have had babies. We have people on the WhatsApp group who have children. Go on the Facebook page, look for those messages. I've done messages on contraception. If you go on the Married with a Life Facebook page, I've done series on my story, my journey from courtship to life after honeymoon, how I met my husband, the preparations, what we did during our courtship, how we prepared for our wedding and planned it, our wedding day, the honeymoon, how we live now that we are married. I've shared all of that. So this is the time. You can take your time, go and listen to them every day, be listening to them. You'll be equipping yourself, okay? So there are many messages that I've done, messages on how to wait effectively, some of our conferences, messages. Make time in this time and watch them, okay? You can also watch comedy, yeah? Comedy. My husband and I does this. Sometimes before we sleep, we watch comedy. The past few days, we've just been watching a lot of comedy, yeah? So watch comedy. If you are single, watch it alone. If you are married, you and your family, your children, you can sit together and watch them. So some of the places that I watch, the channels that I watch comedy on YouTube, is a Mark Angel comedy, yeah. MC Shem comedy, yeah. And then there is Street Quiz. Okay, so I'm doing advert for them. If you see Mark Angel anywhere, tell him, and then Mr. Shem, that I'm advertising for them, so they should come and pay me. Okay, and then the Street Quiz, the one I watch is the Rock Ghana. The guy is a Ghanaian. He does this very funny. He goes on the street and asks people questions. He asks people, what is a leg? How many legs does human beings have? And people will be saying 16. Some people will be saying 4. And they are serious. They don't know. They don't know. He was asking somebody, where is your tongue located? And the person said, in your buttocks. What do you use your tongue to do? He said, for toilet. Yeah, so we just burst out and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh, because you don't expect that somebody will not know where their tongue is located. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can keep doing instead of you being watching the TV, the news, and you are sad and you are scared and you are afraid. Watch these things that will make you laugh. Okay, some of the Mark Angel comedy show, you will laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. Okay, so make time and watch comedy. Okay, and then if you're a couple, use this time to know yourself more. Okay, because it will amaze you how many people are struggling in these times. I was so happy when, because now everybody, you have more time, couples, you have time for your husband, you have time for your wife. When this whole thing started, I was saying there are so many ministers who travel a lot. They travel a lot, and maybe their wives don't normally see them. They probably see them once every month or once a week, and the children may not even see them. And then all of a sudden, mom and dad, children, everybody's at home. So I was saying to my husband, this is a very good time for couples, But I didn't realize that some people are struggling, because I'm hearing so many stories about couples who are struggling because there's no that bond is not there, and they are home and they can't handle each other. I found that very, very interesting. Okay, so this is the time, even if you've never had that time to bond with your wife, and maybe the only thing that was keeping you was your job. You go to work and you come back, you eat and you sleep, and now you're struggling to manage. This is the time to turn things around. Okay, make time, sit down, ask questions, ask your wife questions. Oh, how are you doing? How are things going with you? Talk. Don't assume that she's fine or he's fine. If there has been issues that have kept you guys apart, try and then resolve it in this time. Because can you imagine, we don't know how long we are going to be in this lockdown. So if you are home and you can't talk to your wife, you can't talk to your husband, everybody is separate, your children, even if you have children, it makes it worse, because your children can see that the two of you are not, there's nothing keeping you. It's not a good example for them. So try and dissolve whatever that is going on and make things work. I was listening to somebody giving a story. She said, sharing a story that there's a man, a 75-year-old man who they saw him on the street at Italy during the lockdown, and the police came to him and they wanted to arrest him, and they said, why are you out? Why are you out? You are meant to be indoors. And she said, my wife is worse than coronavirus. I would rather come out for coronavirus to kill me than to stay home for my wife to kill me. And the police were laughing. So people are having that real difficult time whereby, before the only thing that kept them at peace was their jobs, and now their job is gone, so they have to stay at home and deal with maybe a difficult partner. But we need to see this time as a time of God drawing us together as a family, because it's actually nice to see families coming together once again. There are some people, they've not had this for years. Okay, so enjoy this. Honestly, when we had our 1 year anniversary, we went out. We went to a different place, a different city, for a number of weeks, almost 2 weeks. No, it was even more than 2 weeks. And we met a lady. The lady was at the hotel that we were lodging, and she was looking at us, and we told her that we were having our first year anniversary, and she said, "Oh, I've been watching you guys, the way you guys were talking," and she looks very slim, very nice lady. You wouldn't think that she's even had a child. She looks like, very young girl, but she's not young. She's actually in her late 30s, and she was saying that, this is something that we didn't have, because they got married very early. And she said immediately they got married, they started having children, because they got married around the teenage years, and they started having children. So whilst the children are growing, they have to work. It's like they're always having to work so that they can take care of the children. You see, so because of that, the man is coming in, the woman is going. So when the woman finishes from work, the man will go and pick the children. Once the lady comes back home, the man will hand over the children and he will leave to go to work. So there's no that time whereby they get enough time to sit together as a couple or as a family and enjoy each other. Okay, so when this whole thing started, I was saying to my husband, wow, this is the time that this lady will actually have that time with the family, husband and wife. Maybe this person is going, this person is coming. All of a sudden, you are now all at home. Your children, maybe they hardly see you. By the time they wake up, you are already gone. By the time you come, they've gone to bed. Now you are all at home. They can see you every day, the whole day. So enjoy it, and come up with stuff. I know women are very, most women can be very creative, even some guys. Some men can be very creative. You come up with things, games that you can play together as a family and laugh. Yeah, don't make this a boring time or a time that everybody is so much struggling. You are afraid of your husband. You are afraid of your wife. Your children cannot talk to you because they don't know. They don't want to step on the wrong toes. No. There is a reason why this lockdown is. The devil has got an agenda behind it, but we need to try and see the positive, turn it around to favor us, favor the home. Okay. Learn new recipes that you can cook. Okay. Go on the internet. Do competition, cooking competition. Okay, do cooking competition. Husband, just say to your wife, this week or maybe this Saturday, I'm going to cook something nice, something different that we've never cooked in the house before. Okay, cook that, and then tell your wife she shouldn't do anything. She and the children should just go and sit down. You wake up early, you go to the kitchen and cook something new. You call them, set the table, all of you come and eat. The same thing, the wife can also say, children and husband, just sleep. I'm going to surprise you. And then you cook something. And then if you have older children, maybe children who can cook. There are some children, they are 9 years, but they can cook. Some are 7, they can do something. They can make biscuits. Some are 12 years, they can cook. So you can tell your children, okay, maybe the two of you today cook something, surprise us. Or tell them next week you have to come up with a recipe. So they can go on the internet and learn something. And maybe if it's possible, you go out to the shop with them so that they pick the ingredients. And then you leave the kitchen for them. Just make sure the kitchen is safe for them. You leave it for them to cook. Cook something. And then whether it is nice, whether it's not nice, enjoy it. Pretend as if it is nice. Enjoy it. When you finish enjoying it, you give them feedback. Okay, so this is something that I've been thinking about. I tell my husband, I said, when we start having children, these are some of the things that we'll do. My husband does sometimes surprise me. He will cook something, or sometimes I'll say I'm going to come up with a recipe. I'll cook it, and then everybody does something new. Okay, so these are some of the ideas that you can do. Cooking competition. Yeah, at home. It will just keep you together because we don't know how long this is going to be for. And then read books. Okay, read books. Many of us have a lot of books in our homes that we bought years ago. The book is just sitting there. You've never read it. Maybe the problem you are facing, the answer is in that book. But because you've never read it, you don't know. Okay, so pick the book. And in the next 7 days, tell yourself, I'm going to finish this book and see what will come out of that. Maybe you can also write a book. Okay, some of the books that I've released, I use the 3 books, The Impact, The Mandate, and my husband's book. We use 1 month to work on that book, those 3 books. With the Impact, the Swalian's book, they sent the articles a long time ago, but I used that 1 month. I used that 1 month to actually work on those 3 books. Okay, so you can do it. There's so much that you can do within a day if you use your time properly. Okay, so maybe if you've been wanting to write a book for a long time, sit down and start typing. Do the rough work. Later on, you can perfect it. Yeah, and then exercise. If you can exercise at home, exercise. Even the lockdown, especially in the UK, I don't know about other countries. In the UK, they say you can exercise. You can go out and exercise. Okay, you can have a walk if you want to. Yeah, but just make sure if you are not too close to people. And then there is one thing that I saw on the news, and my heart was, I don't know how to put it. I couldn't believe that people would ask that question. Somebody was asking, if I'm in a relationship, now that there is a social distancing, how do I see my boyfriend? And then somebody came and said, well, I would suggest that maybe one person should move in and live with the other person. And I thought, this is not the best answer to give. For me, it's not the best answer. People should not even ask that question. You are thinking about your health, your safety first, and you are thinking about boyfriend. If you should go and something happen to you, that boyfriend, I tell you, if you should die right now, the next 6 months, maybe it will not even be up to 6 months, that boyfriend will start another relationship. So your life is more important than you going to see your boyfriend. And I know there are so many people who are currently cohabiting. Maybe you've moved in to your boyfriend's house, or you've moved into your girlfriend's house. It's not the best advice. I will not advise you to do that. Okay? Because you going to live there, you can't tell me that you're going to live there for the whole time and you will not sin. You will sin, you will kiss, you will touch, you will have sex, and you will do it. So don't pretend and say, oh, we are just going to sit here, we just want to keep each other company and nothing will happen. Something will happen. And you see, where we are right now, nobody even knows what's going on. What about if Jesus is coming today? The boyfriend will be on top of you and Jesus will come. Where would you go? You go to hell. You go to hell. So, see, sometimes people don't, we are at a place where everybody is trying to figure out what is actually going on here. And some people are even now sinning. This should be the time that we should even be so scared. We should be scared and thinking, this is the time we should reference God. Because 1 minute, everything was fine. The next minute, the whole world is shut down. It's shut down. We could wake up tomorrow and everywhere is dark. You can't see anything. Tomorrow could be the rapture. Right now, maybe in the next 2 days, it could be the rapture. The next 2 minutes, it could be the rapture. I don't know. So this is the time to get yourself right. Get a right standing with God, because you don't know what could happen to you. People are dying just like that. Somebody just have a cough. They go to the hospital. They don't come back. And you are busy sleeping in your boyfriend's house, in your girlfriend's house. In the name of you want to keep company. There's lockdown, so you are cohabiting. Don't do that. Maybe you are watching me. Pick your bag and go home. Go to your house. You've got a house. Yeah, this is not a time to sin. This is the time to actually get things right, to get right with God. So please, I will not advise anybody to do that. So if somebody has given you that advice, they haven't given the right advice. It's not going to help you. You can even get pregnant. And the fact that you are cohabiting with a guy doesn't mean that he's going to marry you. We've heard so many stories. And I know a lady right now in Swell, they started planning for their wedding. They were actually in a relationship for 4 years. Started planning for their wedding. The guy said, I want you to get pregnant for me before we do the wedding. And she thought, okay, because they've already started planning the wedding, they bought stuff, it's fine. She got pregnant. And the man said, okay, that's it. I'm not marrying you. He didn't marry her. The girl has had a baby. The day, that same week the girl had a baby, that's the same week the man married another woman. So the fact that he's sleeping with you doesn't mean that he's going to marry you. You've moved to his house. You are cooking all the food for him. He's enjoying you. He's touching your breast. You are doing all the positions as if you are married. You are cooking all the best food for him. And you are thinking after the lockdown he's going to marry you. You have the shock of your life. So put value on yourself. Come out of that house. Go to your own house. Let him miss those things that he would have gotten if he was married. Because if he's getting it freely, there is no pressure. There is nothing that is going to make him yearn to marry you, because you're already giving it to him. But if you are saying no, you are keeping yourself away from him, you're putting value on yourself, and he starts missing those things, he would want to do the right thing to come and marry you so that he can benefit. But if you are giving it to him for free, he's not going to marry you. It will take longer. In most cases, they will not marry you. They will go and marry somebody else. I know so many people in Swal who that thing has happened to. So many people. So please, pick your stuff. Go to your house. Go to your house. Okay, so those are the tips that I can give you. If you've just joined in, please make time and watch from the beginning. I'm going to read. I'll give you some scripture that you can pray with. Anytime you feel afraid, just use them. Okay, so we've got Psalm 91. Read the whole of Psalm 91, pray with it. And then pray with Psalm 121. And then Psalm 118, verse 17. So I'm going to read Psalm 121. It's a short scripture that you can pray with. It says, I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Amen. Okay, so you can pray with these scriptures. Encourage yourself, knowing that the Lord is watching over you. He will watch over your going and your coming now and forevermore. Don't be afraid, for God has not given us a spirit of fear. He has given us the spirit of love, of power, and of sound mind. So let these scriptures encourage you. Okay, and then do the right things. Keep your heart at the right place. Keep your heart at the right place, because in this moment, that's what you need. Yeah. So one of the scriptures you can use is 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear. So anytime you feel afraid, just speak to it. Speak to your heart. And tell the spirit of fear, because it's a spirit. It's not from God. So you say, I cast you out in the name of Jesus, because God has not given me a spirit of fear. So you fear, I command you to be out of my mind, be out of my spirit, be out of my heart, be out of my life in Jesus' name. Okay? And you'll be fine. You will not die. By the grace of God, we will all live to declare the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Okay, so please share this broadcast. I'm going to love and leave you. Share the broadcast with somebody. Okay, let me see if I can read some of the comments that came in. Somebody said, I miss my late stepdad. He can cook. Okay, Beatrice, thanks for the comment. Thank you, Robert. Those admiring my red top. Na is trying to pacify me because she's in trouble with me. So she's trying to pacify me with her message. Okay. All right. God bless you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this broadcast. I hope you've learned something from it. Please do your best. Watch the SWAL videos. Yeah. If you want to join SWAL, this is the best time to join SWAL, especially now that many people are indoors. Maybe you live alone and you feel lonely. Come on the SWAL group, because you have so many people that you can mingle with who will keep you company. And if you are Swalian, this is the best time to introduce SWAL to somebody. Okay, so if you want to know more about SWAL, go on our website. It's www.singlewithalive.org. You will see our WhatsApp page group there. There's a link there for the WhatsApp group. If you click on that, you will see all that we do on the WhatsApp group. There is a link that you can actually click on to bring you to our WhatsApp orientation registration group. And then from there, you can register and go through your orientation. And once you pass your orientation, you can join us and become a member. The orientation is 8 days, but trust me, you will really love it. We've just had a few people joining recently, and they're already enjoying the group. Okay, so thank you. God bless you guys. Thank you, MFA. God bless you too. Grace, thank you for watching. Okay, just making sure that I don't miss any comments. Okay. Power, wonder working power, the blood of the Lamb. There is power. So these are some of the songs that you can sing in these times. Those blood of the Lamb. Okay, have a wonderful evening and a wonderful new week. God bless you. Bye.